Hello everybody and welcome to JGod Gaming. Today's video is going to be a subscriber gameplay breakdown. If you're not familiar with that, it's something I like to do on my channel where I actually go in depth and actually break down a subscriber's gameplay, looking at different aspects, whether it's the specific loadout they choose, how they navigate around the map, based off their playstyle, what makes sense, is their sensitivity too high, too low, do they center well, do they pre-aim, do they have good accuracy. I look at all these different variables, different factors, and then kind of critique it. And throughout the video, I pretty much look at areas that they can improve as well as things they do really well, because every player has their strengths and weaknesses or area of opportunity. What we're going to do is break down a subscriber gameplay. But before we jump right into that, what I did want to talk a little bit about is whose videos I break down. It really doesn't matter your skill level. If you're really new to the game, this is your first Call of Duty, or even playing since CoD 4 or even before that, or if you play on PC or console, it really doesn't matter because certain fundamentals hold true. You want your gameplay broken down, definitely make sure you check out the description below. Check out a comment, make sure you comment with #review so I can go ahead and look at your video and decide whether or not it's one that I want to put up on the channel. So if you could, go ahead and remember to hit that like button. If you enjoy any part of the video, I'd love to hit 100 likes on the video if we can do that. Very appreciated. And if you'd like to stay up to date with future content as far as breakdowns, updates, best class setup, tips and tricks, or anything along those lines, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button with notifications on. So let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. So what we're going to do is first look at the class setup, and we're going to be using the Macho Man class setup. At least that's what he has it labeled. Definitely a wrestling fan, you can see by the names of the classes. But he's using the MP40 Wunderwaffe with armored Blitzkrieg. So definitely a good foundation there. And as far as attachments goes, he has extended mags, rapid fire, and quick draw. So we'll see how these attachments play into the actual gameplay. What I immediately noticed right off the bat is the HUD is actually stretched out as far as it can be, as far as the safe zone goes. Definitely not mandatory by any means, but it is definitely a good recommendation to tighten that up and shrink that safe area to as tight as possible in your settings. And that'll allow your eyes to stay on the crosshairs and the mini map without moving as much, especially if you're playing on a big, large TV. This will help a lot. Here's the opening rush for them. They're actually running out through mid, and when there's a teammate pushing up that right side, so he does kind of have someone with him. And then he comes around here pre-aiming, so that was a nice little kill there, pre-aiming the doorway. So good accuracy there. As he comes around here, he was wearing armor. There's really nothing you can do to react to that. It's really just a shotgunner spamming with the toggle action. More than likely you're going to be dead anyways. And right here again, pre-aiming, so really good move there to pre-aim. Strafing to the right as he's doing that, make sure he gets that aim assist, takes out the target. Crosshairs do seem centered right now for the most part, so as he moves around the map, pre-aimed a little bit there. Quick draw might have helped a little bit there because he wasn't really running, but for the most part he had his crosshairs there and did a little bit of hip fire before he aimed down sight. Got killed by another shotgunner. Especially on this type of map where there's a lot of little tight corridors, it's very hard to compete against those shotgunners. Not because they're particularly good, it's just that you don't have very much time to react. You have to literally kill them before they can even react. And most weapons don't have the time to kill that meets that expectation. Right here, good use of that. Again, killed by a guy running gunny with the shotgun. So a lot of the deaths so far are just shotgun kills. Definitely getting flanked by them. So maybe just a little bit of map awareness. He is running through the middle map, just kind of standing still there a little bit. Ends up taking that guy out. Quick draw maybe helped in that specific case. It's really hard to tell, but he was able to snap on. Right here, goes against a fire shotgun. Had armored on, so that saved his life because the guy missed. Go ahead and throw that there. Died again, man. He just has a shotgun infested lobby, man. That's like 3 or 4 different people with shotguns. One quick tip for anyone that ends up in a lobby like this is there's really only have 3 options. Option 1 is leave the lobby immediately so that you can enjoy your experience. Option 2 is to play much slower, forcing long sight lines, so you reduce the risk of actually getting shotgunned at all. So it's going to involve you camping a little bit more, but for the most part, you will actually enjoy the experience a little bit more, even though it's going to be a lot slower. And the third option is, if you can't beat them, join them. It is a broken mechanic within the game, especially when you can spam fire shells. Right here, he's absolutely tearing it up. When you look at the counter on the right, you can see that pre-aim kills is at 5, quick draw is at 2. And then he had another one that was just in the middle. But when you're actually looking at this, quick draw, the times that it showed that it helped, in my opinion, it wasn't the difference. It looks like it could help, but it's really hard to tell if those fractions of milliseconds were the difference in him winning those gunfights or losing them. And this death is another example of maybe where pre-aiming would have been beneficial. Let's go ahead and rewind that real quick so you can see if pre-aiming would have helped. So as he comes around, you can see he does actually pre-aim, but he doesn't keep it there long enough. He doesn't see the guy and then immediately he lets go of it, starts running, and then kind of reacts slowly. He should come all the way around the corner pre-aiming, and he probably would have won that gunfight and probably even killed the guy before he even got shot once. So let's go ahead and continue on with the gameplay. Immediately, once he respawns, he does a bad case of centering. And you're going to see right here, he throws a good nade, but the centering's not on point. I'm going to again rewind this one and play it back in slow-mo so you can kind of look at where he should have been looking. So what you're going to see is a red dot on the screen indicating where the center of his crosshairs are. And after he throws this nade, they should be looking exactly where that opening is on the left of the stairways right up top here. And then as he comes up the stairs, he should already have his crosshairs to the right, but he's still looking at the ground. You can see how far he is off target. And in this situation, what you really want to do is probably hip fire. And he's so delayed on that reaction, he should get in the habit, if someone's that close, take advantage of hip fire. So in this next gunfight, what you'll notice is he doesn't pre-aim or take advantage of quick draw, and actually gets in a pretty bad situation because he was coming off sprint. Ends up winning the gunfight. Apparently he got a little lucky on this one. But at the end of the day, that was a lucky gunfight. It wasn't one based off skill or anything. That guy should have absolutely melted him if he was a little bit better player. So right here he gets meleeed in the back. I watched this back a bunch of different times. That guy is not in the mini-map. So there's nothing he could have really done to prevent that. So in this next sequence of events, he's going to end up getting killed by a shotgunner. And when I watched it through again several different times, there's really not much he could have done in this scenario. Just really a case of bad timing. He probably could have went around towards the outside of the map a little bit. Even though this is kind of the outside, still indoors. You got to really watch out for these shotgunners. The guy just came around, got him in the back with the shotgun. Not really much reactionary he could have done. So for this next segment, I actually fast forwarded quite a bit because it was kind of a dead space. Just to get to that next death that I wanted to focus on. This guy absolutely gets destroyed. You can hardly even see the guy in the window right here. So right here, he gets absolutely melted by a 4-attachment bulk. Bulk is still good, by the way. But I did want to get into this next gunfight where strafing is key, but he holds his ADS a little bit too long, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So let's go ahead and rewind that again and kind of see exactly what that looks like and what I mean. In this first engagement, you're going to see he snaps right onto this target, strafes while he's doing this, gets a little bit of the sticky aim, absolutely melts that guy. But then when it comes to the second guy, he should release the aim down sight, move the crosshairs real quick when his hip fire, and then line up the shot so he could actually get that second kill. Right here, he missed out on that second kill just because he didn't line up that shot appropriately. So let's go ahead and get to a few of my recommendations. Before we do that, go ahead and remember to hit that like button if you're enjoying the video so far. Would love to get to 100 likes if we can do that. And then go ahead and make sure you subscribe. If you're still watching, you probably enjoy this type of content. So make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you can get in-game updates and other types of tips and tricks videos along the way. A few of the recommendations I would make is maybe to drop quick draw on this class setup because it didn't really help. There's two scenarios where it could have possibly helped, but for the most part, it wasn't that productive. Some easy attachments you can swap out for it are steady aim, advanced rifling, or a suppressor, depending on how you want to use it. When it comes to gun skill, I'd probably leave your sensitivity exactly where it is. I'd focus a little bit more on centering, so watch my centering video, maybe do a practice drill on that with bots, and then also make sure that you're pre-aiming a little bit more often, and that's pretty much going to get you to where you want to be. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.